Glad to see you again today in a Mercedes video. It's right there, it's blurred, which is normal. I'm not showing it much since there have been some modifications you'll see soon, and I want to keep it a surprise. I'm also working on my Toyota Chaser, where we're doing a major engine build. For those who watched the video where I asked about the engine build, you all said to go big with the turbo and go all out on the sponsorships. So, a quick minute to talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Car Vertical. And that's perfect, because look at what I currently have on my phone. I have the report for a Peugeot 308. You'll see it's pretty impressive, and it can be a bit scary. It's a 2019 Peugeot 308 that seems to have had a little theft issue. We also have the photos, from when the car was for sale and everything, no problem. It's perfect. Look, the car is currently declared as stolen. It was stolen in Hungary in 2020. Up to this point, you might think, well, that's too bad. It's a shame. But that's not the problem. The thing is, when you scroll down a bit more and get to the timeline tab, that's when it gets interesting. The car was made in 2019. It was put up for sale in Germany. After that, it was imported to Hungary, and that's where it was stolen and where it's currently being searched for. But that's not the problem. The issue is that this car is registered in France. Currently, someone is driving a French-registered 308 from Hungary that's stolen and wanted there. He definitely shouldn't visit Hungary. So that's actually interesting to know if your car is stolen or not, especially when you want to buy abroad. But you shouldn't stigmatize buying from abroad. I buy a lot of cars abroad because in France, there are very few exotic cars, like the ones I'm looking for on the market. And they're also a little cheaper outside of France, but that's scary. I'm adding a promo code at the bottom of the screen for your future reports to check your cars. Now, let's get to the video, and I'll see you at GMT. Did you see the smile I have right now? Because today I'm really happy. We're finally starting on the aesthetics of the W210. There's still the problem that it doesn't gain power, it doesn't rev up. I haven't solved that yet. But I'm on a very promising lead. And there's a chance that tomorrow morning, the car might finally be able to rev up. I'm getting the part. I just ordered it with Thibaut at GMT. And hopefully tomorrow morning, I'll have solved the problem. But in the meantime, Headlight contacted me a few days ago and said, "Hey, do you want 4 rims?" Well, honestly, yes. Yes, clearly. Because this one doesn't bother me. But if I can finally put the AMG-style rims that I've always wanted to put on a W210, well, I'm not going to miss out on that. So now we're going to change the rims. We're going to put some futuristic rims from Headlight. You'll see how beautiful they are. And make sure to stay until the end of the video because there will be a completely free contest to win some rims from Headlight. Before we begin, I'm wearing a white t-shirt and don't want it to get dirty. I'm going to change, and then I'll get back to you for the unboxing of the rims. Honestly, I'll be straight with you. I've already opened them. When I received them, I had to make sure the package was okay. And I opened it to take a look because I just couldn't wait. I'll show you. There's no more protection around them. They're 17-inch AMG-style wheels. And look at this. Just look how stylish they are. Polished lip. The inside is painted. These are the Aero styles. They're really big. You can't really see the discs, the pads, and everything with these. It's going to look amazing. So normally the real AMG ones are 18 inches. And it says AMG on the side of one of the spokes. Headlight doesn't have the license, so they can't put AMG on them. Unfortunately, they didn't have 18-inch ones. Otherwise, I would have chosen those immediately. I think 17 inches is the best compromise between power and looks. I'm going to unpack all 4. I got the tires Thibaut ordered for me. I'm going to put them on the machine, and we'll mount them together. It's going to be pretty cool. We'll start by putting one on the machine, and we'll start by putting the valves on it first. There are no valves included. You have to install them yourself. It's fine, Thibaut has some. For tires, I made the reasonable choice. I didn't want to get tires that are too low profile. I got 2 25, 45, 17 from Rodix. That's good. They're durable enough for an everyday car. It's very good. It's not a sporty tire at all. It's more of a road tire. That'll be just fine since, anyway, the main goal of this car is to be a good daily driver and definitely not a sports car. Normally, in terms of width, it shouldn't be unreasonable. It won't be a big balloon tire. It won't be a stretched sidewall either. In theory, I'm not too far off. I hope my theory is right and that the fit and the look are okay. The car isn't even on the lift yet. I rushed to put this rim on because I wanted to see how it looks. I don't think I messed up with these tires. In terms of stretched sidewalls, it's not stretched actually, it's just right. There you go. It's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. And in terms of tire thickness, well, it's perfect. It looks stock, it doesn't look sporty, it doesn't look like a big balloon tire. It's perfect. Now I just need to put on the other three. Once they're on, we'll use the lift to remove the original 16-inch wheels, which I'll keep since the tires aren't worn out yet. So we're going to keep them, we're not going to throw them away. But in terms of looks, it's already going to change a lot. And then, well, we'll move on to the rest of the cosmetic work. We'll take care of the headlights. I'll give you a little tip. I think I'll do it in this video if I have time. Actually, I think that'll need a full video since I'm still unsure what to do. And I'll see if there's a backup solution. Maybe actually remove the clear coat. That would be ideal, as the car would have a matte gray finish underneath. With some polishing, I could make it look clean again. It would be better than this. What do you think? That's it, the rims are mounted on their tires. Yeah, not on the car yet. We'll need to lift the car to install them. I'm extremely happy with how it looks. I think the tire sidewall is exactly what I was expecting. Not too tall, not too skinny. It's perfect for a car with 25-inch wheels, it'll fit perfectly. But damn, the quality of the finish, I'm so happy. Don't forget, at the end of the video, I'm giving away a big prize from Headlight. Trust me, you'll be happy. Headlight is generous with gifts. It'll be pretty cool. That's cool, though, that they give you the wheel bolts, because there are a lot of brands that give you the center caps. They're not here, but I think the original Mercedes one fits. But there are a lot of brands that don't give you the wheel bolts. Personally, I prefer that they give me the wheel bolts and not the center cap. That way, if I ever want to put something other than Mercedes, well, I can. You know, if you want to go for something different, or if you want to put AMG, Mercedes, or whatever. And anyway, the original ones are compatible with these rims. I think that since they don't have the license, they can't actually put a Mercedes logo on something that's not Mercedes. So it's understandable, really. Perfect. I'm really happy. So stylish. Now, I'm going to show you something pretty exceptional. When I buy a car, I like to take care of all the maintenance. And I hadn't checked the discs and pads because, well, with these rims, you couldn't see much. And I changed discs that were almost new each time just to tell myself, come on, it's fine. You're starting with new brakes. Look at the edge. I've never seen a disc so worn down. But actually, the disc is done for. And the pads, yeah, they're not any better. Well, so that's 2 discs and 4 pads. But it's urgent. Okay, what I suggest is that, off camera, I'll install the other 3. I'll lower the car, tighten everything with a torque wrench, and keep it clean. Once it's on its wheels, I'll get you some cinematic shots outside. As for the ride height, I'm not sure if I'll need to lower it. Those are the only changes I'll make. I don't want to start a big project because we all know how it goes. I need a daily, buy one, modify it, and end up rebuilding it. He buys a... I don't want to get into that. The longtime subscribers who've been following me will remember my Lexus GS 300 days. I bought it, I told myself. This one, I'm not going to modify it. I didn't even change the rims. It was 100% stock. And well, it's stupid, but it was one of the best dailies I've ever had. If I want to do mods, I have everything I need at home. There's the Toyota and the new Lexus coming soon, so I'll keep this one mild. Really mild? We're inside the Mercedes. There have been changes. I replaced the MF. I didn't film it since I did it quickly this morning when I picked up the car. I'll show a short clip to show what it looks like. Nothing special. Now we'll be able to see if that was the problem, the reason why I wasn't getting any power. So I'm gonna lock it in second gear and we'll see now if it runs better. And now I'm at full throttle. See? It's fixed, that's it. Perfect. It's crazy, huh? It's amazing how such a small part can restore the power of an engine. Let me remind you, I couldn't even reach 5,000 RPM at all. Like from 4,000 RPM, the car was really struggling. And now, well, it's good. It hits 5,000 RPM without any problem. And I think if I kick down, there you go. And now we've got power, even though we're going uphill, you know? We've got power, we've got torque, we've got pickup. I even think the transmission is gonna work a bit better now, because now the information matches up. It's crazy. I thought it was the fuel filter, spark plugs, or ignition coil, but it wasn't any of those. It was the MAF. And it's weird because it misled me. Because for me, a MAF either works or it doesn't. And I use the technique where, when the engine is running, you unplug your MAF. And if the car stalls, well, that means technically it was working, since there was some information or a connection. And if you plug it back in, or at least if the idle drops or gets rough. And if you plug it back in, if the engine speed changes, or at least if it goes back to normal, well, that means the MAF is giving it information. But apparently, it was giving it information, but either the wrong one or not across the whole engine speed range. So, this car is starting to become more and more like new. So, I'm super happy. It's good. That's it. I've got my engine power back. Now we're going to move on to the discs and pads. For example, I'm not going to film that for you. I ordered them this morning from Thibaut at GMT. I'll handle it tomorrow at home, no rush. I won't film the process for you since changing discs and pads, it's already annoying to do it and filming makes it worse. Honestly, there's nothing satisfying for you to watch, even if they're worn out. So I suggest that the next time we see each other, which will be in this video of course, we'll restore the headlights. So we'll remove the front bumper, take out the headlights, sand them, and apply clear coat. We'll restore them to like new condition. Compared to internet techniques, like the magic lamp method, I don't like those because they don't last over time. There are plenty of people who swear by that. You know, that kind of lamp you bring close to your headlight, and it gives off a little gas. That doesn't last. After 6 months or a year, your headlights are yellow again. I'm going to show you a technique that lasts at least 10 years. I'm saying this because Thibaut gave me the tip. And he did it on a car. He did it on a car 10 years ago, and the car still hasn't changed. And that's the technique I used on my Cayenne for the fog lights on the Chaser. It's a bit annoying, but at least it's quality, you know, and you're not there with your little lamp. Well, it's not clean, you know, especially since here it's clearly, let's be honest. This isn't work for me, I'll show you that. You'll see, it's going to be very interesting. So, in the end, we're not going to do the headlights right away, because in the meantime, Nico and I had a good idea. We thought we'd go get our cars tuned to run on ethanol. For that, well, you know where we're going. We're going to Charles, so right now, we're on the road. I took my V6. He took his V8 and is right behind. I have no idea where this reprogramming will take us. I don't know if Charles will be able to do it, because we're dealing with old clunkers from 98 and 2000. We don't have an OBD port. So I think if he manages to do it, we'll have to use some pretty old school reprogramming techniques. I think it's going to be interesting. We're hitting the road, and I'll get back to you when we arrive. For your information, I've already been running it on ethanol for a week. And look, on my last trip of 600 kilometers, I had a fuel consumption of 10 to 10.5 liters per 100 kilometers. Normally, I was around 9 liters. So already, automatically, by itself, it got richer. We'll see once it's been remapped whether consumption changes or not. But already, it's using more than on premium gas. That makes sense. It's good, though, because I can see it's adjusting to the fuel I gave it. And I actually saw on the internet that the V6 and V8 engines from my generation, so from my vehicle and Nico's, already handle ethanol pretty well from the factory, even up to E90 without doing anything. But on the other hand, we're going to lose a little bit of power, and that's a shame. For him, with the V8, it's going to be less noticeable, but for me, I already felt it quite a bit, yeah. That's it, we've arrived at Charles's place. He's in position. There's a scenario where we can't do anything, really, with the car. He's the one who's going to tell us in a few seconds. he's going to connect. So I'm going to provide him with an adapter to connect here and to have the plug to be able to connect to the computer. Basically, this is what the plug looks like. And so it's a bit outdated. That's why there's a chance he might not be able to communicate, or maybe he will. I don't know. Are you confident or
I'm on the fence. On the fence. We're at 50-50 here.
All right, we'll see. You won't hear him. He has no mic. Hold on, I'll get closer. Go ahead, come closer. Look, turn around.
Little ZZ.
Big ZZ. Currently, things aren't looking good. We turned on the ignition, but nothing communicates with the computer. If it won't connect, what can you do?
Take apart the circuit, remove them, and work on them directly on the bench.
Okay.
So disassembling the cable. And we're going to try another tool. Here we tried with AutoTuner, which has already worked on cars with a real OBD port. And here it just won't work. So we're going to try Flex. If that doesn't work, we'll take out the ECU.
Okay, now things get interesting. It's a mess. There are a billion cables and boxes. He's trying everything here to try to communicate with the car. He already saw there were faults because I put ethanol in it, but it doesn't seem powerful enough to communicate and connect to the car. So it looks like we'll have to take out the ECU. Well, there's no choice. We have to remove the ECU. None of these tools manage to communicate. Now you'll see how to communicate with it next.
Now I need to find the pinout diagram. I have a universal cable that I can connect to the positive, the negative, and the line wire. I like it when...
You say that we need to have this pin out.
So here we pin directly onto the ECU, okay, because we have no way to communicate with the round connector over there. So we go directly onto it. Okay, we found the diagram on the internet, yeah, to connect. And now we pin. When you pin directly, you have to be careful and make sure to disconnect the battery and actually try to make sure that the cables you're not using don't touch the bodywork, because a lot of them are live too.
Yeah, basically.
By the way, the manufacturers of ECU tuning tools always advise against doing it on the vehicle, exactly to avoid delays. Yeah, but here we don't have a choice. Dragging wires there could cause grounding or damage, possibly burning something out.
We didn't put it on, but he also didn't take it apart since one screw is accessible and the other on the right is not. So we have to do it directly on the car.
So we're going to do it here. So now I'm being careful with all the wires I'm not using. We'll try to keep them like this, or, well, we'll just be careful with them. So now we have a 16-pin OBD connector, and now we're going to plug in our tuning tools.
Basically, you're creating an adapter.
Yeah, that's it. But it's a universal adapter.
And then I have some switches.
To tell it, I turn the ignition on, I turn the ignition off with this. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, excellent.
You are a wizard, sir. I'm trying.
I like it. Nothing surprises me here anymore. My tool is connected, so now you'll tell us if you have the info.
That's it. We still can't see anything, so we're going to open it.
So now we really need to figure it out and try to get the screw out.
Which is on the right. We'll get it, but it's annoying.
This thing is a nightmare. It communicates, but only halfway.
Basically, well, there's no way to reprogram it anyway.
You can communicate with it, but not access it directly.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Well...
Finally, good news. The Mercedes engineers aren't that stupid after all. Actually, the engine control unit is mounted on a plastic carrier. The second control unit behind it is also mounted on a plastic carrier. And actually, I'm realizing that by just unscrewing 2 screws from the carrier, well, everything comes out. The screw wasn't accessible because it wasn't designed to be removed from the large enclosure. It's fine, he's slowly taking everything out. Filming it later will look cool. You know, once the CU's open and everything, I like filming that. It's going to be nice. He asked if we wanted to see something funny to film, so we went to see.
Idiot, that's so stupid. Okay.
Well, it's fine, you're enjoying yourself. But actually, he's buying up all the mini engines in the world.
Normally these are the last ones.
There won't be any more after this, Denia. There won't be any more. But some people store gold. There are people who store gold. He stores engines. I love being in this little operating room.
It's good, we're good. Did you see how convenient it is to map? Plus we're having a great time. It's done in 2 clicks.
It's still a mess.
It's still not working.
He's testing one last thing.
I'm testing all my gadgets here, even the most unlikely ones.
If it doesn't work, we just go home.
Actually, I'm considering it. He thought maybe these cars might not have CAN data. Then you have the automatic gearbox. And that's complicated to handle with that system. It won't be able to manage it, for example. So here we tried our official tools that cost 10,000 bucks. None of them work. Our good old Chinese counterfeit equipment does communicate with the ECU, but we can't read it. Now I'm testing my latest and greatest Chinese gadget. We're taking it out. In 104 force majeure, we're going to try to read it. Same result. Well, that's it. It's over. I can't do anything.
Well, too bad, right? Stuck having to run on 98 octane gas or do a 50-50 mix, that's it.
We tried all the tools I have on hand. Yeah, I admit not all of them, but nothing wants to communicate with it. There's a protocol, it's me, 2.1, 2.1. There are protocols with different tools, but none of them work.
Damn.
That's crazy. 0. Oh well, at least we tried, I think.
Thanks anyway.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks.
But no, so it's worth trying with his Sheriff, or I don't think so.
It's the same. If this doesn't work, his won't either. After, if you have 5 minutes, we'll take it out and connect it directly to the oven so it communicates. I'll try.
Yeah, just hover over it just in case.
Just the same pinout actually. We'll just try. I'll remove the connectors directly in place. We'll try to tap into it directly. Well, after that, if Nico's works and his doesn't, you're gonna be, well...
I'm out of here. I'm not coming back. Spoiler alert, the reprogramming on Nico's Mercedes worked. It's surprising, huh? For me, things have to go wrong. For him, things have to work. He's just so damn lucky, it's crazy. It didn't work for me, but I found a backup solution. For those who've known me for a little while now, you know that my previous cars, especially the HRV, which is right behind me, my old W210 and many other cars, I ran them on ethanol using a clever fuel pressure regulator that I connected to the fuel return line. Except that on this one, the original fuel pressure regulator, because you have to disconnect it, obviously, if you install an adjustable one, is under the car because it's on the fuel filter. So the process was a bit of a hassle, but anyway, that's how I converted it. That means the fuel pressure regulator is currently pressed up against the chassis. So now you can't adjust it anymore. You need to remove it to adjust and attach a long hose, since there was barely any space where it's located. And so it's with the original pump and regulator, or at least the original fuel filter, under the car, in that little spot where we changed the fuel pump hoses in the previous episode. There's a good point and a drawback to doing this. So, I calculated this as accurately as possible, meaning I'm going to get roasted because I don't know the terms. Basically, I took the metric capacities of the injectors, which I converted into C. I added 30 using a calculation I found online, from guys who do the same thing as me, by the way. And that gives you exactly the indication of the fuel pressure to set. I was at 3.4, 3.4, I think, originally. I went up to 5.52 bars. So the advantage is that now it runs perfectly on ethanol, because before, I was running it a bit on ethanol, but I had a bit less power. Now it's good. It has 100% of its power. There you go, it has 170 horsepower as expected. The only downside is that now, the onboard computer that shows you the fuel consumption and range is completely messed up, because it thinks you're still running it like when you were using 98 octane gas, since you're injecting more pressure. So it's telling me I'm doing about 9 liters per 100 kilometers. The advantage is that I have the number of liters left in the tank. I reset the trip odometer. I know that, for example, I have 20 liters left. Well, I've used 60. I've done 500 kilometers with those 60. So that gives me my real fuel consumption. And so right now I'm just throwing out a random number, but at the moment, I'm running at about 13 to 13.3 liters per 100 kilometers on ethanol. If I take my little calculator and do 1.75 euros divided by 0.78, that means ethanol is 2.24 times cheaper than diesel. So I take my 13.3 liters and divide by 2.24, which means it would use about 5.9 liters if, for example, it was running on diesel. So it's super cost effective for me. If afterwards we calculate based on the price per 100 kilometers, for example, well, it's still always much more cost effective. Because to drive 100 kilometers, I use 13.3, so 13.3 times 0.78. It costs me 10.30 euros to drive 100 kilometers, while the same car in diesel will use about 8 liters per 100. So, 8 times 1.78, that's 14.24 euros. So, it costs me 4 euros less to drive on ethanol with my method than if it were a diesel. So, already as a daily driver, that's a good point for me. Now, there are a lot of people in the comments who are going to say, yeah, your stoichiometric ratio, your AFR here, I don't care. I don't care because it's my car. I do what I want. And I don't care because it's Mercedes. It's super reliable. Even stock, the engines are nearly made for ethanol. People do as they wish, and as I'm often told on Facebook, those of you who leave comments like that can go convert your diesels to ethanol. Yeah, because people have told me that, you know. I should convert my diesel to ethanol. Anyway, let's change the subject. So, as you saw, it's almost finished. I still have a few things left to do, you know. We're not doing the lights in this video. Sorry, but I'll cover them in a future episode since I don't have time now and wanted to get this episode out for you. So that'll be part of the future aesthetics we're going to do under the car. But now it's time for the giveaway. So as you saw, I changed my rims. I put on Maxi-Light ones, by the way, which are incredible. I've been driving with them for a while now. Now, I'm really happy because I still haven't damaged them. And now I want to thank you for watching my videos like this. So I'm going to give you a €1,000 gift voucher at Maxi-Light. So that's almost 4 rims. Well, depending on what you choose, it might be a bit more expensive than €1,000. But 80% of the rims sold on this site are under €1,000. So you get 4 rims for free. This is in agreement with Maxi-Light. They're okay with it. It's all about enjoyment. Now, to win them, it's very simple. Write Mercedes Maxi-Light in the comments on this video. And in the description, there's a link that will take you to my Instagram account. You'll also need to take action on Instagram, where I'll announce the winner and share all the details. So, loyal subscribers, write Mercedes Maxi-Light. That gives you access to the giveaway on Instagram. I'll be waiting for you. Check out the story, reel, and upcoming post for all the info you need. Most importantly, you don't need to spend any money. Be cautious if anyone asks for your credit card number or says you've won but need to pay €2. No, it's completely free. To participate and win the €1,000 at Maxi-Light, you don't spend a single euro. You don't buy anything. You don't take out your credit card. You just follow what's written on the posts. It's always the usual likes and subscriptions, which cost you nothing. So don't be fooled. Thanks again to everyone watching my videos. It's my great pleasure to share a bit of my daily life in the automotive world with you. The purchases, the restorations, the modifications. I'm really glad that it makes you happy. And now I'll see you soon in the next video. All right, bye.